Okay, hello everybody. Today we are going to be covering Git Fetch. What is Git Fetch? So let's imagine that we have a remote repository. Obviously, this video is going to assume some familiarity with remote and local repositories, and also other Git concepts such as branches and merging and commits. But since we've made previous videos about those, we will assume that you are familiar with those concepts. If you're not, you can go back and watch those videos. So let's imagine that we have a commit history that looks something like this. Obviously, these numbers in Git should really be SHA-1 hashes, but for simplicity, I'm just going to give really simple numbers like 1, 2, 3. So we have develop. This is just going to be the name of the branch for our example. So that is what our remote branch, our remote repository looks like. And so we're going to imagine that we have a local repository that looks like this. So basically the same thing. I'm just going to call it D for simplicity's sake. And let's imagine for simplicity's sake that the name of the remote is O. O is obviously short for origin, which is a typical name for a remote in Git. But so moving on, so this video is about where fetch will be helpful. So let's imagine that in your local repository, you start making changes and you start making commits. Okay? So obviously your local branch moves along like this. And so you're done. But now you're at a point where you want to push your changes up to the shared resource. So, but the problem is that while you were working on your local repository, someone else was pushing changes up here. So the question is, how do we get these changes into our local repository? Right, because in order to be able to push, we are going to need to have a local and remote that are sort of in sync with each other. So what you can do here to get these changes into your local is to run a Git Fetch. Obviously, that Git Fetch will have to be run on your O/D branch, but when you run that command, this is what will happen. You will get 6 and 7. So now, and obviously this will have moved forward to here. So now what you can do is to get your local branch in sync with your remote tracking branch. What you can do is run a git merge what do we want? What do we want? O/D. So what this will do, we'll create a new merge commit. We'll advance both of them forward. And then at this point, you'll be able to run git push, and this will update your remote repository to basically just look the same as your local one. So you'll have pretty much something that looks like this. And so that is a quick description of what Git Fetch does and how you can use merge and then push to sync your local repository with your remote repository. All right, thanks guys, see you soon.